And we're live in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Homestead on the Rock. Today joining me is a very special guest and quite extraordinary. This woman needs no introduction, but I'm going to give you one anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, this here is a Titus 3, Proverbs 31 woman. She's my baby making, bread making, hot chocolate on a cool evening making. This woman here, this woman right here is proof that God still does miracles. She's the reason I get up in the morning, weighing in at a weight that I will not publicly disclose. On the outside, she may look soft, fluffy, gently, cuddly, gracious, and elegant, but inside, this woman is a tank, filled to the brim with the Holy Spirit.
That is the intro. I don't know who I am.
You do not want to mess with this woman. According to the scriptures, there's no marriage in the kingdom, but when I get there, that's who my best friend going to be. She cooks, she cleans, she runs the houses, she does the finances. She's my emotional support, my personal assistant, the treasurer. Coffee maker. And did I tell you, the woman can cook? Moral of the story is, this woman's amazing. My wife, Samantha Kellis. The kids have been walking around saying, my belly got some more room, I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah. Our children have been extremely hungry lately. I don't know if it's because Cole is almost 3 and he's growing, or he's just bored, or he just refuses to eat his breakfast and just snacks all day. Could be a combination of both. But I've decided that I'm stocking up the house with 5 different healthy, high-protein snacks. Now, I emphasize high protein because in the past, I've made snacks for kids, which is just like, fruit balls and things like that, but they lack the protein, and then 5 seconds later, they're gonna say they're hungry. So I'm really focusing on putting protein in these snacks so that they stay hungry and they stop asking me for food every 2 minutes. So that's what we're making today. So the first thing I'm cooking are like quiche muffins, we'll call them. Basically just quiches and little muffins. This is like the easiest high protein snack. Lots of egg, lots of protein. I'm gonna be using ricotta, which is high protein as well. You can literally add anything into these. My kids love olives. Olives, tomato, a bit of feta and red onion as the other ingredients today. This is actually my first time doing bulk cooking in this new house. I haven't actually made a huge batch of anything. So we'll give the oven a good test, see how it goes cooking for a couple hours. Now I haven't made the exact recipe before, I'm always trying new things, but I am going to be baking most of them in my stainless steel pan, which I haven't made quiche before in them, so I'm hoping they don't stick. So I'm going to give it a go today. And then that's the only tray I have, so I'm going to try the rest mini ones in the silicone pan. So see how we go with that. Right, then the bulk of the ingredients just go in. All these snacks as well are quite easy to make. They don't require a lot of steps, which is good because I'm making this all while the kids nap. The kids have been a lot of extra work lately, haven't they, Tom? I don't know what it is. Zip's just getting a bit older and Cole's getting more personality, we'll call it. But I feel like I don't really have many minutes in the day except for when they're having a nap. I'm trying to get them done while they sleep. I'm curious to know if anyone else uses stainless steel to bake muffins and quiches and things like that. I've only done muffins so far, and they didn't really stick. They were pretty good, but I've never done things like quiches, so I'm kind of a little bit scared to do this for the first time in front of the camera because we've got to see the result, but got to learn. Please don't stick. Please don't stick. Please do not. Oh, whoops. Thought this was the other tray. It's lighting. Not using my brain. All right, high protein snack number 2. This one it almost doesn't even look like a snack, but because we're gonna make it look pretty and nice, the kids will definitely think it's a snack. You could almost have this for breakfast instead. Layers of yogurt, berries, granola. But the way I'm making it high protein is I'm going to be mixing in collagen powder into the actual yogurt before we layer it. So there is so much protein and good stuff added in this, it will definitely help them to stay fuller for longer. So I actually love it. I actually think it's really good. I love this long bench space, and I love that there's cupboards on the other side of the bench, and I love that the kids can come on this side of the bench and cook with me. We can meet in the middle. Yeah, back home in Melbourne, I had all my suppliers, you know. I could get...
Sounds a little bit, we had our supply.
Well, I did. I had my suppliers. I knew where to get my meat from and my vegetables that were organic and all that stuff. So I liked going there weekly. But being out here, no one really delivers out here, well, the companies that we used. And I don't really know heaps of people. So it's just been tricky finding, what's the word? I just don't have a routine for my food, whereas I used to. I have a good routine for my pantry staples because I get them online and they do get delivered here. We use Honest to Goodness, like I've mentioned in other videos, but we now also started to use Goodnessme. They're really great too, and we actually have a discount code for them, so we should link that below if anyone's interested. They're actually a great company to work with, and they've actually been really generous to us because they've given us a code for you guys. You get the discount on top of any specials. Not many brands do that. So even if they have a special, our code will apply on top, which is pretty cool. I'm just gonna call them yogurt jars. So the first layer we did was the yogurt, and I whipped in the collagen powder in here, right? So it's like collagen powder enriched yogurt, we'll call it. I made this granola, so it's homemade granola. It actually has quinoa in it. It's puffed quinoa. I think I made this in the last staples video, but quinoa is a protein source, would you believe it or not? So I'm gonna add that on top. Now, next layer is berries of your choice. We're going with blueberry. No, the last two things I do is honey, yogurt, topped with coconut flakes. Now remember, the reason I'm making these snacks is because I want to have a lot of protein in the kids' diet so that they stay full. That's the idea behind it. In the past, like I said, I'm giving them a lot more fruit snacks. Well, you know, if Koa sees he's hungry, I'm like, have an apple, which obviously is fine. I'm still gonna give him an apple. But as you can imagine you were hungry and someone gave you a handful of grapes. You're gonna tell me you're hungry 3 seconds later. So that's the idea behind it, that these snacks need to have more protein. Finishing pieces, some coconut, bop, bop. That's it. So again, you can see we're about those quick, fast, easy snacks. I'm gonna put these in the fridge. And realistically, Koa will only be eating one of these a day. Maybe Tom will grab one. So they should last, you would think, the weekdays. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, surely.
Do you feel exposed to everyone looking in your fridge?
Not really, I don't think I hide anything. This is my fridge. Looks pretty good, really. The most shameful thing is these store-bought eggs, but we're working on it. We're getting a chicken coop.
Shameful is probably a little bit harsh. It's definitely not shameful to buy store-bought eggs. But I think what Samantha's trying to say is that we really, really want to get our own eggs. And that is something that I have been working on. This right here, what you're looking at is a deconstructed chicken coop. This morning, I just got up and I've been scouring Facebook Marketplace, man. I have been like a hawk on there every day looking for wood. Anyway, I picked up some good hardwood here. Stay tuned, guys. Chickens, eggs, chicken coops coming soon. 2 weeks ago, I planted some garlic and some seeds. So I'll give you an update. That's a garlic sprouting up there. That's another garlic sprout in there. Another garlic sprout in there. That's another garlic. And there's another one in there sprouting. So I can see at least half a dozen or more have sprouted already, which is really good. Now for the seeds, we can look here. The peas did average, so about 15 have sprouted there, but I think there's about 9 that haven't sprouted. But over here, the lettuce is doing very good. Almost all of them sprouted. But as you can see, look at this. The birds actually got in here. I don't know if you guys can tell. A bird got in here and flicked up and made a couple. And then I had to put this makeshift greenhouse lid on top because the birds got into here as well. Look what they've done. Here they were having a dust bath, flicking stuff around, destroyed half of it. Just came out here one morning to have a look and I could just see instantly, you can see the divots from birds getting into it. Well, I'm assuming it's birds. Anyway, but I still got lots of sprouts. There's still heaps of, that's the Tokyo Bacana that's sprouted. And here with the spring onion, you can see there's heaps of little spring onions coming through. I mean, I wouldn't say heaps actually. Probably half as much as I was actually hoping to get from the spring onion. Might get a few more. We'll give that a bit of water and that a bit of water. Try to pour a little bit at the bottom of this tray. Oops, I just soaked one of them. Nope, I've done it again. Okay, how are we going in here?
Good. I'm just about to mix the third recipe together. We're making like muesli bars, To make them high protein, for me it was a little bit difficult. So I added a little bit of collagen powder in here, but a lot of people add peanut butter, right? That's where you get high protein. I don't normally feed my family peanuts because I am a bit funny about their polyunsaturated fat levels in them. Anyways, what I wanted to say was, peanut butter companies have started to realize the whole trend of seed oils and nuts and what they do for your body. And I've noticed now on the back of the ingredients, this brand Mavis and Pix, they have started to do, I don't know how to pronounce this word, I know what it means, high oleic or oleic. I'm gonna say it's called high oleic, I think that's how you pronounce it. So that word there, it basically means that these peanuts don't have a high amount of polyunsaturated fats. They have more monosaturated fats, at least 70%, which means that they don't have as much inflammation as normal seed oils would. I'm not going to talk about it, it's a long story, but essentially, since brands have picked up on the trend about seed oils, they've been, I guess, changing where they source and how they process their peanuts at least, so they don't make it as they don't make it as shelf stable. So I'm happy to use this. Still won't use it all the time because I'm not 100% believer in peanuts, but for here and now and then, I don't mind using these brands. Hope it made sense. If it didn't, it's too much to talk about in a recipe video.
We have some quiche muffins that look like they're done.
I think so. I haven't tested to see if they're non-stick. You have to wait till it cools down for sure with stainless steel. If you try and pull it out while it's still warm, you've lost the battle already. You must let it cool down. I learned that with bread making. It was a sad learning experience there. Every time my bread ripped in half. Do you remember that, Tom? Actually, my sister-in-law said to me, "Are you letting it cool down all the way?" I was like, "Are you meant to?" Turns out you are. So we'll wait for that. Also, I've never used a hot plate. So this is also something we're getting used to, which is actually quite funny. I use stainless steel frying pans, and you can see how big the hot plate is. So this is the size that it heats up, I suppose. Back at my mum's house, what's it called? The stove bit. The flame was like only this big. So when I put my pan on, sometimes we notice on the edges things took ages to cook, and it was like really annoying.
It was like an uneven heat distribution.
But since we moved here and the heat is everywhere, my pans just work so much better. It's like,
yeah, watch this. Turn that one on. This hot plate. Watch this. It should go red. Ooh, see that? So the whole thing is hot, and then we're finding the whole pan is hot. So when you're cooking eggs, it's actually even.
Alright, so I have the dry ingredients in here. We're going to add in that peanut butter and honey mixture, which I'm just heating up. But also, just to be fun, I'm going to add some chocolate chips into the muesli bars. These ones are from Pate Organic. I tried to order the dark chocolate in mint one, but if you order from Woolies, you know what that substitution is like when they don't have an item in stock. Honestly, most of the time they're not bad, but sometimes I could cry with the things they substitute me with. Like when I ask for fresh ginger and they give me like a jar of processed ginger with 70 other ingredients. I'm like, come on, that is not a substitution. Nice try though.
Yep.
Oh, it says love your insides. That's a brand you love. Although this chocolate has child lock on it. And yes, I am a messy cook. As I go, I kind of just, if you don't show them that, my mum will tell me off later. I even purchased stainless steel chopping boards because I was going through my stainless steel era. I mean, I'm still in it, I'm here for it. But in all honesty, they really make your knives blunt quite fast. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I do like to use it for things like chicken because it's just so much easier to clean and sanitize than the wood chopping boards, because I just feel like the chicken is always still in the wood. Doesn't matter how much I like clean it, it's like, nah, there's still chicken in there somewhere. That's what it feels like. All right, I'm gonna add in the wet ingredients now. I can never find half of my kitchen equipment because I don't know about anyone else, but my cutlery drawer, container drawer, and utensils drawer is my children's favorite toy box. Just throw everything out. Then I put it back in, then they throw it out. In goes the chocolate. Okay, put them in the fridge for an hour and then we'll flip them out and cut them. So also guys, all these recipes I am going to link in the description. They're not my recipes, but I will link the recipes that I use. It's so good. I'm just pushing this down, put in the fridge, it's done. This one actually took like 5 minutes. That's pretty cool. I'm here for no bake things. What's that? 3 things down now. Woo. She left. And then my children will be full for a week. Third thing I'm making is brownie made out of kidney beans. Now, I know that sounds gross, but someone made me, actually my mother-in-law made kidney bean cacao muffins once, and I didn't even know that there was beans in it. So I'm going to turn it into a brownie this time. Zipper?
Yeah, zipper.
Hello. Were you crying for a long time or little time? Hi, come. Come. Oh, you're big, yeah, very heavy.
Hi, zipper.
Very
Hi,
heavy.
zipper.
No, so sweet. There's also eggs in here, and I'm also adding ricotta. So there is a bit of protein in these brownies. This is actually really simple to make because you just have to blitz everything up. Zippy accidentally pulled out my food processor and smashed the glass bowl, so I don't have one. I'm going to try it today in a NutriBullet. So we'll see how that goes. I'll do half-half, I think. Okay, cacao powder. That's the chocolate. Okay. Today I am also adding in these brownies. These are beef liver and spleen capsules. Now, I'm sure everyone's heard about the benefits of beef liver, but honestly, beef spleen has even better or more benefits than the liver. So spleen has the highest, actually has the richest amount of hem iron out of any iron source you can possibly eat. But then your beef liver has all your B vitamins, B12, B2 and B9. So that is why I'm adding them into the kids' brownies. They come in capsules and I'm just breaking them and opening them at the moment. I'm going to add in 6 today, so we've added in 3. And something I've also learned is that children aged 7 months to 3 years have the highest iron needs they'll ever need in their childhood. So it's so important to make sure they have enough iron now. You know, and a lot of people will say, you know, they take vitamin C when they eat iron so that it does absorb into their body. But vitamin C is good for absorbing non-animal based iron. So anytime you're taking animal based iron, you should take spleen with it. That is what's going to help you absorb iron best. If you want to try some of these, you can click the link in our description and you'll find them on our website. I hope this works in this thing. Come on, don't tell me you wouldn't think that's delicious chocolate batter. Take this out and I'll put the next slot in. Look at that. Right, you couldn't even know it's kidney beans. Cool beans. All right, let's blitz the last bit up. Hey, Zippy, what's wrong? You think it's this movie? All right, let's give her a taste test anyways. Yeah. Yeah. This will work better if you have a food processor. I don't recommend doing it in a NutriBullet. Now, if you're wondering, why aren't you wearing an apron in the kitchen? Aren't you making an apron? I am, that's why I'm not wearing it. I only have my sample apron here and I'm not quite ready to share it with you guys yet. So yes, maybe in a couple more videos I'll be ready, but not quite yet. Life has just been really busy since moving house and I just felt like the children have needed extra attention from me, which is fine. So I've had to put the apron on hold so that I can attend to mum life and make sure that's my #1 priority still. So that's why it's on hold. All right, here it goes. Don't tell me that doesn't look like delicious chocolate butter. We have one more thing left, but maybe we'll take a 5-minute break. We'll be back.
I'm a little bit ashamed to show you my worm farms at the moment. During like the rush of moving here, before and since moving here, I've been neglecting them a little bit. And last time I checked, my population had declined a lot. Some more worms, but look, they don't look very lively. They're not looking very healthy. I haven't sifted these in so long. When I neglected these worm bins, they dried out a lot. And then when I come and assessed it, it looked like I could hardly find the worms. And my guess was that it dried out too much. Let's have a look for some worms in here. That looks a bit more healthy, a pregnant worm, very good. That's more like it, that's what we want to see. Look how many beans are growing in this thing. That's crazy. Let's find some worms in here. Okay, so my plan to revive my worm population is basically, I've got this tub here, and then what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to collect the castings from these tubs. All the worms' poo is called castings. And that's going to go, see the little holes in the bottom of this? It falls through the holes, and then I collect it down the bottom here, and all the worms, they stay up the top here in this, and then I put them back in here.
Daddy, where's the worms? This one can wiggle. Dad, this one can...
It can wiggle?
Yeah, this one.
Maybe he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive, but I'll show you, he can wiggle. This one.
Okay, pick the right up. Zipper, take that out. Take that out, please. Thank you. Zipper, not in there. Out, please, Zipper. Out you get. Not in there. Okay. Okay, that's got to go in the wash now. Oh well. Please take the pine cone out of there, okay, buddy? You got to listen.
Oh.
If you're wondering, Tom, why do you bother doing this? I'll show you. Careful, Zipper. I'm just going to bring it over here so everyone can see. Oh, you're standing. Look at that. Big girl, huh? The finished product here. Oh, hang on. Watch out, Zipper. No, don't eat that. So this is the finished product of why I have worms. This here is my own free fertilizer. Worm castings, worm poo-poo. And I've got, obviously, as you can see, a lot here. And when I plant the fruit trees soon, I'll throw a bit of this in the hole and around the plant to hopefully give it, will promote a bit of growth. Oh. Zipper, zipper, zipper. Oh boy. Zipper, does that taste good? Bit of worm poo-poo for Zipper. Oops, I don't even know if it's legal to post this. Okay, this one inside. This one had some castings. She ate a bit.
It's fine though.
I know, but I just...
No, if you bring it, it's okay. You're not saying to me like, help.
I think we have to flush her out with the hose. Nah, she'll be fine. She'll be okay, I hope. What are you doing out here? Hey. As I was saying, this here is a big tub now full of free fertilizer. What happens is we collect the compost, which is the green waste from the house. Then I come out here and I put it in these tubs with some other things like these old egg cartons and leaves and even old potting mix that I've used a lot. And I put it all into the Koa. Buddy, what are you doing? This is my worm castings and you just threw the compost in there. Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad. The worms eat it.
This fertilizer here is for the plants. That compost is meant to go in here for the worms. There's no worms in this one. I just took them all out.
Yeah, this took all of them out of this box. I'll do that.
Everything that went through the sift is now in there as fertilizer, but everything that didn't go through the sift is back into these tubs. So I've minimized it just into 3 tubs now, and they're a lot more shallow because I've got rid of a lot of the castings, obviously. They're a lot more shallow. Hopefully their worms are a lot more dense and they will repopulate a lot better. And a little bit of water is probably going to go a long way as well. I'll sprinkle a little bit of food in for all of them, green waste from our house. I throw in these egg cartons, which is basically carbon. This will eventually break down and become soil as well. I will rip these up a little bit just to spread it around and help it break down a tiny bit faster. Now normally when I see people always making their worm bins too wet, and I see people saying if your worm bins are too wet then you'll get like pot worms and mites and other problems in your worm farm. However, I've also heard that a wet worm farm is the best for production. They like it quite moist for breeding, and considering how much I've neglected them, I think they will actually appreciate a bit of water. I'll put the lids back on these and check in with you guys in a future video and see how they've gone. Now this big tub of worm castings, I will be saving some for when I plant the fruit trees, but it's also good just to sprinkle in the garden. I'll sprinkle it on all my herbs. These castings are also full of worm eggs. Cocoons, worm cocoons they're called. So not only are we fertilizing our plants, we're actually putting little worm babies, cocoons, into our pots, and then they will hatch and you'll have more worms in your garden, or in your veggie garden, or in your raised beds, or whatever you're doing.
Okay, so I'm taking out the muffins. I have already noticed that there's a difference between the ones in the stainless steel pan and the ones in the silicone pan. I'll just quickly show you. So these ones in the silicone, they like crisp up everywhere, like cute little quiche muffins, right? But the ones in the stainless steel, when you take them out, who's gonna come out? Oh, okay. Like that's not really non-stick, that's fine. Like that washes easily. My bread kind of looks like that. But the bottom is like, it's still cooked, but it's soft, it doesn't crisp up. And I had someone message me on Instagram and say that whenever they use stainless steel muffins, they find their muffins, whenever they use stainless steel trays, their muffins don't crisp at the bottom. So does anyone have any tips for that? I have seen people make perfect muffins, so it's a learning curve, but right now that's what I'm struggling with. So anyway, still edible, it's nice. Good? You a fan? Actually, now that I'm looking at it more there, we are losing a little bit here. That didn't work as well as I hoped for. Oh, look at that. I'll be back with a video on how to make perfect quiches in stainless steel pans one day.
They're both delicious either way.
The last thing I'm making today is a dip. I know that sounds funny, like is that really a snack? But I'm making a nutrient-dense dip with high protein, and then I will serve it up to the kids with like carrots and things like that. The star of the show is chicken liver. I just cooked up some chicken liver. Now, this is basically like a pate, really. That's what you would call it. But I'm also using chickpeas, more protein, ricotta, more protein. Again, if I had a food processor, this would be a lot easier, but I'm going to use my NutriBullet. Too much in there. Chum. Want to taste it? Well, you're just going to say it's nothing.
Tastes like chicken liver pate.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, do you like it, Zippy? It should look a tiny bit smoother, but just doing what we can do. Obviously, I'm going to freeze a lot of this. I'm going to put it into different containers and freeze. Well, this is my brownie. It looks a bit cracked. I think I'm going to let it cool a lot more before I cut it. I'm a little bit nervous about that. But we're going to cut up these muesli bars that we made because they've been in the fridge for a while. Oh, Beano's awake. Daddy! I can hear him saying, Daddy!
Hi, Beano. You awake? Yeah, we're working. Come, Mum made lots of snacks. Come have a look. Say hello, everybody. Dad's filming a video for Homestead on the Rock. Beano just woke up. So you say, hey, going, guys?
What's this, Beano? Beano Chino?
Look good?
This was an easy one. Me and you could make this every day if you wanted to. While you were sleeping. Hey, I made everything before Cole woke up.
You know, while you were sleeping, Mum's been very busy. She made this, this. What else? Oh, they're in the fridge. More snacks in the fridge.
Alright, so you could keep the muesli bar big like that. I mean, I feel like that's traditional. But I'm gonna cut them in half just because then it feels like I have more. Tiny bit crumbly. I could have done with a tiny bit more wet ingredients, I think, but still pretty good. Do you want to taste the crumb, Bino? I don't know about the whole thing.
Tell us, is it good?
How good is it? Your favourite? Not your favourite.
No, my favorite.
Oh, it is your favourite. I still can't get over how easy this one was. That's a good amount of snacks. All right, I'll make a deal. You get to have half of this, one of these, before dinner. I'm gonna put the rest back in here.
I'm gonna bite your finger. Oh, that's yummy.
Not bad, she said, not bad. So you can see like it is a touch crumbly, the one I made. If I was to make my own recipe and modify it, I'd put a bit more coconut oil, I think, just to solidify it a bit. So basically that's everything. That's everything we made today. The chicken liver pates, quiche muffins, brownies, kidney brownies, the muesli bars and the yogurt. That is a lot of snacks. I'm gonna be able to freeze, you know, a bit of everything except for the yogurt. And I think that this should keep us nourished for the whole week, surely. Your belly is gonna be very full, Kola.
What do you think, Ben? Does that look like enough snacks or we need more?
I need more.
More snacks? Well, that is the end of this week's video. Thank you for tuning in. We've had a lot of new subscribers lately, so if that's you and you've recently joined our family's little adventure, thanks for following along. Glad to have you here and hope to see you in next week's video.
Bye.
So see you next week.
See you next week. See you next week, Michael. See you next week, Bruce. 1, 2, 3.